Okay. Be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. I don't usually do the live thing, and it's because it makes me nervous, but I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I am recording a Zoom call to talk about channeling and to talk about this beautiful, exciting course I'm offering, and just to talk about channeling because I like to talk about it. Just want to take a minute to drop in. So if you're with me, you're welcome to join me. And just to close your eyes for a moment and breathe a couple deep breaths. Just letting in fresh air and oxygen into your cells, your body, your spirit. Just releasing whatever needs to be released. Just anchoring in this space. So I'm really super excited because I felt really called to start working and building community with people, and that's already happening, but to do it in a more of an offer, through an offer. And I'm excited because in channeling, I've been, sometimes you call in spirits or you call in energy, and it's you putting something out there, and then sometimes energy comes to you. And I really feel like the sky grandmothers have been coming to me and speaking to me, and it feels like they are pushing me to put myself out there and jump into leadership more actively, which means doing things like live calls and Zooms and getting your voice out there. So what I want to first say is, the one thing I run into when I talk to people about channeling is, not always, but often people think of channeling as almost like it's a possession, like you're being possessed by a spirit. And I want to be really clear that in the definition and the understanding I'm using as the word channel, that is not the case. And that just like human relationships, we also have to practice boundaries in the spirit world and in the energetic world. And so I think it is possible for energies, entities, spirits, whatever you want to call it, to enter your field in not such a good way. And I think that happens when we're not in our healthiest place. And so for me, that's why the work is so important, to connect community around channeling, because I think we need to first recognize that we are multidimensional channels, that all of us are, and that by being in a better way, we can use the beauty of that to cultivate sort of next level experiences. That's been my experience. And so I love the word channel because it really speaks to us as energetic beings, and that, everything is energy. And so as a channel, it means we have the ability to pull energy through us. We have the ability to interact with energy, spirits, and when I say spirit, that could be anything from animal spirits, plant spirits, to ascended masters, angels. I mean, once you really get into the field of energy and spirits, it's so fun because there's so much opportunity to play with different mentors and different teachers. And just like the human world, we get to have dialogues, or there's different ways to interact, I think, on a level of channeling. And one of that might be through having dialogues. So asking specific questions, or, if you're doing a lot of business, calling in Isis because she's fierce in that realm, and that we have the access to connect with such beautiful ascended beings that can lead us through the human experience in a way that makes it so much better. So I just wanted to emphasize that because a lot of people say, you know, I'm not interested in channeling, but like I have these intuitive gifts, and I think they're the same thing. We're just framing it differently. And so my premise for what I'm doing is that we are all channels, and that we are either unconsciously channeling things. And an example of that is, you know, like random thoughts or stream of conscious words coming out, and we just think it's random, or in our imagination, we're seeing something that doesn't even relate to our current experience. That is usually channeling, and you're usually picking up on something that's going on around you, maybe something that's going on in the spirit world, or something that's happening with someone else. So I think we're always channeling. It's just how clear and open is your channel, and that's why I'm really excited to offer a program that helps teach how to discern between you know, what is a message, and do I need this message, and do I need to share this message? Those are three very important things, right? So yeah, the biggest thing that I'm excited about in starting this course is to really start to lead and build community around channeling. One of the things that helped me really validate my psychic gifts was working with a soul sister who lives in Germany. Anna, if you're out there. We, for the last 3 years, we have done readings on each other, and we have done energy work, and all across the virtual multidimensional waves, because we've only actually hung out in person once. But that kind of showed me like, oh, like I'm not just picking up on something. I'm actually seeing something very clearly, and I get to practice it with this person, and she gets to validate those messages. And so, you know, building more practical community on that, where we can actually practice our skills. There's programs out there where you can do that, but I don't think it happens as often as it could and should. And hi, everybody that's on live. Shannon, hi, Shannon. Yeah, and a lot of what I'm doing, I have to honor, has come from my own journey. And I started Reiki level 1, and that's where I met Anna, actually, and we connected as what I call now ascension buddies. We're like being able to practice these multidimensional skills with each other. And really just from there on, the Sophia Code, and working with plant spirits and animal spirits and all of that beautiful stuff that's so fun. I think it's fun. I don't know about you guys. So what I'm looking at, what I have built is a 13-week program that, I hate the word program, a 14-week course that will include weekly guided activations, and those will be live to kind of model and practice channeling. I'll also offer just some content, themed videos on a course module. And then in that 13-week period, we'll do 6 live calls where it's more interactive and sharing and building that community piece, as well as a Facebook group, because that's an easy way to really share what I'm calling invitations. So there'll be invitations weaved in for people to practice, not just practice channeling, but really hone in on what is my channeling strengths. As we all know, there's all the clairs, clairvoyant, clairsentient, and those are all, I think, are sensing human modalities for being able to channel. And I always like the example of a musician or an artist, because I think they're just like the perfect example of someone actively being in a channeling flow. Because you always hear musicians or artists that create, and I consider myself an artist, but that create a beautiful piece. And sometimes they'll say, I have no idea where this came from, or, you know, it just, came through me. And I think we are picking up on beautiful divine energy that can stream through us. And the gifts of learning how to up level that, you know, if you know, you've been intuitive, most people have like had the experience of having intuitive experiences or spiritual experiences, and then you know, not really knowing what to do with that, I guess. And I think the shift that we're experiencing with so many people waking up, quote unquote, and going through initiations and reclaiming these gifts that have been punished really for thousands of years now, that we're getting to wake up to our gifts, and we're getting to realize the potential in that. Because if we build communities that are high level channels, and we connect with each other, and our intentions are good and our vessels are clear, then we can start doing what's needed, which is like next level community channeling to create the bigger miracles that the earth needs, Gaia needs. I think that's happening. I think there's micro groups doing this, and I think we just need to keep going down that path of bringing people together. You know, you can do all the inner work in the world, but unless you're applying that into community and relationships, I don't know, you know, it's important, but I think we're coming into the next era of bringing that inner work into a community. And when, as you know, when you're in a partnership or you're in a really close relationship, that's when you really know what you've healed or not. And so I'm really excited to bring people together and really hone and fine tune our channeling gifts, and even figure out what they are and what we want to use them for, to start doing, you know, the next level, which is, okay, we're going to all get together and we're going to channel with maybe a similar intention, or we're going to share intentions, and then we're going to use that power to create a portal which connects us to our celestial families. It's so fun. And as most of you that know me or have been following my posts, a huge part of this is the Sophia Code that has really named the process of channeling as it is, and has cultivated this next level of multidimensional schooling, mystery school, and that's actually, eventually I'm going to be certified to lead Sophia Circles, which is a very beautifully contained container that I'm just a guide in. But those are also going to be a 13 series. And so my ultimate prayer and intention is to create these programs as parallel programs. So if you're in the Sophia Circle program, which you don't have to do both of them, but if you're in the Sophia Circle program, you can be going through those activations in a very nourishing, held container, but also be working on the stuff that comes with the Sophia Code, opening up your channel and integrating that through this channeling course. So I channeled the channeling. Actually, I was at a really, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but I was at what I considered a really boring conference. And it was like they wouldn't let us leave. They wouldn't let me sit on the floor. And I was like sitting there kind of like in my little tantruming child self, like, you know, I'm ADD, blah, 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 I need to get up. But what I ended up doing was like channeling this whole channel course. And it made me realize that actually I should just go to really boring conferences to channel, because there's something about being contained in that space that makes me just like open up. Anyways, so that came through that. And then I realized how beautiful, as I was already saying yes to the Sophia certificate program, I just realized that they were going to be synergized. And so that is like kind of the ultimate goal. But this first round of the channeling program is just going to be the channeling school. And it's going to be really, really fun and juicy. And I'm excited to break out into leading in this way. I've led in a lot of other ways, in psychology, in teaching, and colleges, but this is more like, oh, this is my heart alignment, soul path, prayer, all of that. Yeah, that's kind of just the overview that I wanted to share about this program that's rolling out from me, that's being birthed. And I really am so happy that people jumped on. I see lots of beautiful people I decided to do Instagram Live, and I'm recording on Zoom. And I'll also be able to share this again. If you have any questions about, October 21st is when I'm going to start this, and it's at I put it at a really affordable price for what you get, because to me I think it's important to always put value on things, because otherwise you get weird contracts, and that's another conversation. But I did really try to make it affordable, and there's some payment option plans that are on my website, theearthconduit.com. I just my prayer is to have a bigger community versus like making it really expensive. I'd like to start with a handful of people or whoever's called to it, and really build a foundation for this community. Yeah, maybe just close and drop in one more time. And I just want to give a shout out to the beautiful people out there really holding it together in a pretty wild world, and that there's so much beauty and powerful things happening, and a lot of times we get caught up in the awful things that are happening, and the revolution will not be televised. I think that's a really potent saying, and that we are seeing so many beautiful people that are ready to step up to these bigger callings. And my prayer is just to join with anyone called to that, and to start, or just to continue building on that. With all the pain in the world, we need millions of light workers and people stepping into this. We need everybody to step into this, really, because then we can get to a place of miracles, and a place where we are not just stuck in the form world, but we're actually expressing in the multidimensional world more freely and with more clarity and discernment. So I just want to say thank you and blessings, and wanted to thank the Sky Grandmothers, who I feel really overlighting this journey with me recently, and of course all the mentors in the Sophia Code, and all the beautiful animals and plants and Gaia and people and all of you. So blessings. I hope to hear from you. Feel free to shout out anytime.